I gotta stop filming on trash days because every 2 seconds I hear a trash truck coming. Cue the trash truck. There she be. What is happening, everyone? Bienvenidos. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Alatorre. I don't think I have introed myself in a while. If you're new, welcome. Join the family. Hit that subscribe button. All are welcome as long as you are kind to one another. And today I am doing a somewhat of a beginner's guide to winged liner. I think that this is the easiest way to do a winged liner without having to take off 10 layers of makeup if you mess up and starting all over again. It's how I like to do my winged liner still to this day. For me, this is kind of like a, what are those books called? Like the dummy guide, winged liner for dummies. Do those books still exist? I feel like nowadays they'd be super canceled. But yeah, super easy winged liner look. One eyeshadow. It's not complicated at all, and I think you guys are gonna nail it. Practice makes perfect. Let's get into it. As you may have noticed, I'm starting off with nothing on my skin, absolutely nothing, just these pimples and me, myself, and I. If you are an absolute beginner at winged liner, the worst thing you can do is create a 10-layer smoky eye, then try and do your winged liner. It doesn't come out right, and then you have to take it all off. The best way to practice is on bare skin. Nothing on the face, nothing on the eyes, just your eyelids and your liner. This has to be my favorite liner, the HAUS Labs Eye-Lie-Ner. It's a felt tip. Doesn't have to be this one, it's just my favorite. I think it works so well, so easy to use, and it never fails me. But any felt tip liner I think is the best if you are a newbie at winged liner. You wanna get the product going first, so give it a couple taps. And this goes for any liner, not just this one. You want it to be, or you want the felt tip to be nice and drenched. What the heck did I, hold up. We have an emergency. There are several ways I like to approach my winged liner and the angle. Sometimes I'll go straight across and create that angle, or whatever direction I want it to go in, if I want it to be more straight, more angled. And sometimes I start with the edge and go up. I would say for a beginner, it's probably best to start from the bottom and going up. That way you know for a fact it's going to connect to the bottom versus going across and then going too wide because you're trying to connect with the liner on top. Look at your pen, and whatever angle you want to go in, hold it in that direction. Sometimes, especially if you have a slight of a hooded eye like I do, I know it doesn't look like I have a hooded eye. I have my hair in a ponytail for a very good reason. It's pulling everything back, making it easier for me to apply my winged liner. Problems of a 31-year-old. Sometimes when you're going this way, the pen will skip over the skin, causing kind of like little skid marks of a liner. So when I go back, it's just kind of filling in that blank space. To keep it nice and thin along the lash line versus going really thick, I know that's an issue sometimes when you go a little too thick and it fills up your entire eyelid. I like to just tap it. It's almost like I'm laying my pen flat, especially the closer you get to the inner part of the eye where you want it not to be as thick. You want it to go from thin to thick. And once you reach this part, you can then start to glide it to connect with that wing. And there's your winged liner, easy peasy. And I know for some of you, it might not be this easy. If you do mess up, this is what I like to use to fix it versus starting to pile on concealer and foundation, more and more product. This is what I'll do, okay? This is the Makeup Forever SenseEyes waterproof makeup remover. I'll use something flat like this. This is technically more so a lip brush. I just like that it's a flat brush. Makes it really easy to work with. Up here, if you had messed up, you just clean it up the same way you did the wing. And you obviously don't want to leave that makeup remover on there if you're gonna be, well, you are gonna be adding more to the eyes. So grab a Q-tip and just wipe away any remnants or remains. Remnants, is that even a word? The other eye is actually the easier of my two eyes to do winged liner on. So another little helpful tip, do your liner first on the eye that is more difficult for you to do, because it'll be easier to match the easy eye, the good eye, to the bad eye. For this one, I'm gonna do it the other way around, where I'm going to swipe it across just so you can see the other technique. So looking straight on, just like that, looks even, and then connect it. See what I mean? This is my easier eye. I did that in like 2 seconds. And then I'm just gonna fill it in. And again, just tapping it in on that inner part of the eye to keep it nice and thin. And instead of trying to force product out of the liner and pressing on your eye really, really hard, because the harder you press, the more difficult it is. You can't really tell what's gonna be the outcome if you're pressing really hard. It might come out thicker than you want, more product. It can get messy. So you'll see on the back of my hand, I do this every time I go back in. If I wanna add more liner, make it darker, I activate it on the back of my hand, then go in and add more. And there we go. I don't even have to go in and fix this. So now let me show you an eye look I would do if I were a beginner and I've got this amazing liner, but no other makeup on my face. Use a creamy concealer. This is the Marc Jacobs Accomplice concealer. I love it. High coverage, looks like skin, super creamy. And I'm gonna take a concealer brush. This is an LH305. I'm gonna pick it up directly from here. A foundation stick would work really well for this also. I basically consider this like mini foundation sticks. I'm going to apply that for coverage, and you want to take it as close to the winged liner as possible. This might be a little heavy for some, so definitely choose your preferred coverage on your eye. This concealer really is amazing though, I will say. It just blends out so, so well. And with the very edge of the concealer brush, you want to get it, again, as close to the liner as possible, and don't go in with too much because it's going to be difficult to blend out. But yeah, if you feel like you don't have any discoloration on your eyelids, like you don't need the coverage, you definitely don't have to go that low. You probably would just have to add it right here so that when you do your foundation, the eyes connect seamlessly to the rest of your skin versus not having any product in this area. And then giving yourself raccoon eyes by doing that. And if your eyes slightly fold over themselves, like mine do, see if I start to see that? You don't want to risk it ruining your liner, so immediately take a translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent, and sweep it onto that concealer to set it, and so that it doesn't disrupt your liner, just like that. You can also further make it look clean on the edge by adding it to this outer part. And make sure to add a little bit of powder right there as well to really set that liner in place. See that difference between this side and this side? On the other side, I'll show you with the foundation I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna be using Makeup Forever Reboot on the brush. And I actually find this to be a little easier because foundation is obviously a little thinner, so easier to work with than the concealer. Blend it out with the sponge. Being a little delicate to not mess up the liner. Like, don't go too crazy and then blend over the liner, you know what I'm saying? So it makes you feel more comfortable. Definitely use a brush instead of a sponge. But I'm just pinching it like this. I'm just pinching it to make it nice and narrow, and then blending out. And then if you got powder on your liner, or you did accidentally, always a dog for all my eyelashes, if you did accidentally mess it up when going in with concealer or foundation, just go back in with a little more to resharpen up that edge. This palette, the Stone Cold Fox palette, is brand new. I absolutely love ColourPop eyeshadows. I think that they are so good. And I'm gonna pick something that is kind of like an in-between brown, probably Corey days. I love using a brush like Smith 247. So I'm just gonna pick up this shadow and start working it into the crease little by little. And just like that, you have a classic winged liner and shadow look. I think this is like the most classic. It's almost very bridal to me as well. Your skin tone is almost acting as like a lighter shade of shadow, and then a nice mid-tone brown in the crease. And then when I get to the wing, I kind of just start to blend in this direction. Okay, makeup is almost done. I thought I would show you how I'm gonna complete these eyeballs. So I'm just taking that exact same eyeshadow that's in the crease, super simple, and just adding it to the lower lash line so it looks connected. And typically when I have on a matte eye, I also want a matte inner corner. So I'm gonna add a matte white shadow. Oh, that is an inner corner highlight. With a fluffy blending brush, I'm just gonna buff it out so it looks soft and not like bam in your face. I'm gonna add a little bit of mascara and then false lashes. I know, who am I? Just a really nice coat to make the lashes look really full when I added the false lashes. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of false lashes. I like them, but I still want them to look natural, like they're my own lashes. Really like this effortless lash line from VELOUR. This style is called Mini Me, and I trim off a decent amount from the front part of the lash. So when I add them, they're gonna land right there where the liner starts to get thick. See that? And I'm gonna add a really thin layer of duo glue to avoid it from getting really messy and ruining your liner. Very, very thin layer, and let it dry for almost like a minute and then add them, because if it's super wet, it's gonna start sliding everywhere. Okay, these are about ready. My makeup is done. I'm gonna pop them on using these lash tweezers, also from VELOUR. We're gonna come in from the side. We're gonna swoop in and just pop them on like so. That is it for this easy peasy winged liner and shadow tutorial. The first time I did makeup on a client at the MAC counter, she wanted a winged liner, and I legit grabbed one of the other artists and I said, please do the winged liner for me. I'm so nervous. And afterwards they were like, you've got to practice. I know it's scary, but you're never gonna learn if you don't try. So practice makes perfect. Keep on trying. If anything, I hope this helped you in the slightest way possible. Make sure to share it with anyone who is struggling to get a sharp winged liner. I hope that this video is helpful. I also hope you subscribe. Hope you hit that notification bell. I hope you give this video a like, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.